Hello. There.
Basically, just wanted to ask you to share your experience as a red setter, and then talk about your experience route setting for this nationals. Maybe what the challenges were, or what your vision was as well for each of these routes. Because you know that there are like three different disciplines. What was maybe the thinking or the logic
displaying
behind it. Okay. Cool. Once we're live. Once we are back online.
Someone's gonna comment again. Where's the live stream?
But
It's live comments too?
Yes, live comments. So we can see their comments.
We can see the love and
And the hate. But the hate is mostly because the connection is bad. But you are a professional route setter.
I am.
You are a professional route setter. How old are you, Nilo?
I am 26.
26.
wow, he's younger than me.
Yeah. Oh, you're
You're
young.
27 now.
Wow.
You're 27.
You are younger
I'm
than
about to
us.
turn 27 soon, so yeah.
Okay, to make her feel better.
Yeah, so you're 98.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been setting since I was like 18.
Since you were 18.
Yeah, so
Do you have a home gym there in the States?
Dog Patch Boulders is like the closest gym to where I live. So it's just in San Francisco. Really big, really big bouldering gym. I don't know what the size comparison in meters is, but it's maybe like 30,000 square feet.
Oh, that's big.
It's really big.
But then again, I can't make this conversion in my mind.
Yeah, I know. I'm not good at that.
Okay. All right, let's see this for the
Yeah.
live stream. I might forget.
I was doing the live stream yesterday. How was that for you guys?
I lost my voice.
I've been yelling like
And everyone
up and
all
down.
day.
Yeah.
And we saw you would be the one rushing. We're like, wow, very proactive route setter right now.
So in the States, is it normal for everything to be lead, or do they also have top rope setups like this?
For the adult competitions, it's usually just lead.
Just lead.
For the youth competitions, it's sometimes top rope.
Are they usually taller than this, or?
It depends. Usually at the national level, it's tall.
And by taller, like how many meters are we saying?
I don't really know meters.
Meters. Oh, okay, feet.
I know it's like 50, 60 feet. I think this is 40 feet.
This is 20 feet, and normally 50.
I think this is like 40.
40 feet, but normally it's around 50.
So much higher.
I wonder when our mics will be fixed.
Is it a battery thing? Like, should we keep it plugged in?
They sent messaging, so I guess wala.
But we're live.
Yeah.
But can you hear us? Okay, sorry.
How is this?
Wala.
Jolo! But did they hear us kanina? They can hear us kanina. Nung start lang.
The other one.
Jolo, okay na ba? Okay na yung mic? It is? Ah, okay. Where's the other mic?
It's with me. With Nilo.
Here. Here, Nilo.
Is it working now?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Can you test the three?
Yeah,
Hello.
we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Thanks, guys. Thank you for confirming. I wonder if how much you heard from our conversation. But for the people back home, this is Lead Nationals 2025 in the Philippines. And I am here in the commentary booth today with Nilo, our head setter. Say hello, Nilo.
Hi, how's it going, everyone?
So Nilo is our head setter all the way from the States. So Nilo, maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit to the people at home.
Sure. My name is Nilo. I am from San Francisco, California. I have been route setting for about 8 years. I usually set in San Francisco, California at a gym called Dog Patch Boulders. But the last year or two, I've been focusing a lot more on competitions. And I've been traveling across the country in the United States to set local competitions and regional competitions.
Very, very cool. So Nilo is a professional route setter in the States for both boulder and lead. So what kind of competitions have you been helping out with in the States?
Mix of bouldering and rope competitions.
I see. Do you see like Brooke Rapitu, those guys, or?
Not at the level that I've been setting.
Ah,
I've
okay,
seen
okay.
them around at climbing competitions that I've competed in the past. But most of the competitions that I've been setting are youth competitions.
Youth competitions, I
So,
see.
like youth local competitions, regional competitions, divisional competitions.
Got it.
And that's like the structure that you have to take as a youth athlete in the United States to get to the national championships.
Got it. Okay. So how did the local organizers of these events discover you, Nilo?
A lot of it is through word of mouth. I
Word of
know
mouth,
a
okay.
lot of route setters and gym owners that
Mm-hmm.
they're in need of an extra route setter every once in a while
Yeah.
to help out with events. I've also just put the word out and expressed interest in setting competitions.
Right. Yeah, I think I remember I first heard about you because you set a Boulder of the Week in Beehive. Is that correct?
Yeah.
You right? Yeah,
Years
you did.
ago. Yeah.
That was that a couple of years ago?
I think that was like the opening set for Beehive.
When was that?
I think the opening set for Beehive.
Ah, okay. So we are welcoming our first climber for Lead Nationals Challengers category to the floor. This is Reyes, who will be climbing the first route. Okay, so Nilo, can you tell us a little bit about this route that Lays is climbing right now?
Totally. So Gix, PJ, and Dennis were the route setters that worked on this route.
Uh-huh.
This route and the other Challengers and Masters route. They collaborated to make a climb that would hopefully challenge enough of the competitors to get separation, but hopefully still have enough success.
Right. Very excited energy here in CCM today. So how do you gauge the climber's skill level as a route setter?
A lot of that comes from the qualification round. So
Okay.
just seeing what the level was at the day before gives us
Yeah.
information to make adjustments on the finals climbs.
Got it.
The nice thing is we have enough space on the walls to put in a bunch of moves. So we're able to make the climbs progressively difficult.
Uh-huh.
So maybe at the beginning it's a little bit easier, and then the middle it gets a little bit harder, and the end it gets way harder.
I see. How do you pick where the crux is, for example? You don't have to reveal to us where the crux is in this situation, but I've always been curious how that decision making it works.
A lot of the times for competitions, it's supposed to be at the very end of the climb.
At the very end, okay.
Every move should be a little bit harder than the last one,
Right.
so that you're able to get separation based off of skill level. But sometimes there's some variance there.
Right.
Sometimes the movement might be more complex, but it might not be as physical.
I see.
Or it might
okay.
be more risky and it might not be as complex.
I see.
So the different ways that I break down difficulty is risk, intensity, and complexity.
I see.
And that's not something that I created. It's just something that route setters talk about a lot to break down what kind of difficulty the movement is asking of the competitors.
Oh, and a fall from Reyes. Yeah, so this is exactly what Nilo was talking about. The route was getting progressively harder for the climber, a mix of fatigue and of the types of moves that they're doing along the way.
So there's certain moves that are going to be way more physical, and then there's certain moves that maybe the foot is really, really bad, and so it feels much less secure.
Yeah.
And so difficulty can come from different things. This move that the climber just fell on, it starts to get much more physical in that section.
I see. And then when you visualize a route, are you thinking of certain moves? Like, are you trying to force a certain move or a certain sequence for this route, for example?
Sometimes that's the goal, is to set specific moves to test the climbers, but a lot of the times it comes down to the wall angle and the resources and the time constraints.
I see. Okay, now we are welcoming our second climber, for challengers lead, Natasha Bolivar from Cebu. So Tasha is going to try her hand at this route. Oh yeah, so Tasha Bolivar also competed in bouldering nationals last week in flow state. Were you there, Nilo? Or it was a schedule conflict of scheduling,
Yeah,
so
I
you were
wasn't
not
able
able
to make it.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun though.
So we are observing Tasha Bolivar now. So are the climbers climbing this route the way you intended?
Yeah, for the most part. Everyone has a little bit of different beta. But the sequence is pretty clear.
Yeah. What are some of the observations you make of the climbers? What are some of the observations you make when climbers are climbing your route? Here, for example.
Usually I think about, how quickly they're moving, how confident they look as they're moving. If they have flow and if they're being decisive.
Okay.
Those are indicators for how hard it might feel for that climber or how difficult it is. I think a lot of the times for competitors in this category, in the challengers and the masters, they're just getting comfortable in the first couple clips, and then maybe they get a little bit more warmed up into the movement.
Got it. So for the people back home, Nilo is the head route setter for lead nationals in Climb Central Manila, Greenfield, Mandaluyong. So all of the routes here today have been vetted and reviewed, and some have been designed by Nilo. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's definitely a collaborative process. I can't take credit for any one route. I think we all split the routes evenly just to make sure we were being very efficient with the time that we had. There are certain climbs where I've set the middle section and someone's at the top and someone else at the bottom. Or I've set the whole route and we've had other people come in and make significant adjustments.
So Tasha Bolivar on the fourth clip of this lead route right now, going for the pinch. Oh no, and an unfortunate slip from Tasha Bolivar as well.
I don't speak or understand. My dad's family is from
So on the floor now is Danny Castillo. Danny Castillo represents our resident social media for Centro Climbers. So Nilo, for these routes, I know in bouldering they have keywords, for example, when they're visualizing a route. Like some will be like powerful, some will say technical, etc. What would be the keywords you would use to describe this route right now?
I don't know if there's any one word that I would use. The goal for most routes is that they're well balanced
Okay.
because you have more opportunities to test different types of movement. You know, in a boulder problem, there could be only 4 or 5 moves
Right.
to like maybe 15, 18 moves.
Right.
It's like most boulders are within that range. Rope climbs, there's so many more moves we can add in, so hopefully we're testing different skills. We intentionally weren't setting any type of coordination in this round.
Okay.
We wanted it to be much more about testing the climbers' endurance and their skill.
Got it. So, test of endurance and technical skill for lead nationals. Danny clipping into the 4th clip of this route. Crowd goes wild. Every clip is a success. Isn't that right, Nilo? Especially in lead climbing, I feel like it's a huge relief whenever I get to that next clip.
Totally.
And
Yeah,
then
sometimes clipping is the hardest part of a move.
yeah,
So once you get the clip done, it's definitely a relief.
Yes, it's true. Actually, in yesterday's round, we saw several climbers falling in the middle of a clip. So that's definitely a possibility. It's a good thing that we have really amazing belayers here who are making sure that our climbers are safe. But would you say, Nilo, that there's a technique to falling on lead routes?
I guess in that you don't want to get your leg behind the rope.
Okay, Danny doing a very smart rest here on the 5th clip. Like Nilo mentioned earlier, lead climbing is a lot about endurance and technical climbing. Yes, and Danny is on her way to the 6th clip now. Once again, showing us that clipping may sometimes be, yes, like we mentioned, climbers have fallen in the middle of a clip. Wow, it's pretty crazy, huh?
That was awesome.
Beautiful belay from Kuya Deng.
Good fight.
Good fight as well.
Central climbers, belayers.
Yes, that is Reyes' contribution. One more time, Dre.
We love our central climber belayers.
Yes, thank you to our belayers. Skilled, very skilled in catching their climbers. So, Praj said, "Hi Tito Nilo, give me a shout out po." So you are familiar with Praj.
Yeah, how's it going? Good job last week.
Let's see if Praj replies. So you and Praj know each other in the States.
We met here,
Oh, you met here.
but yeah, I think we may have like crossed paths in the States at a comp once or twice.
I see. That's really surprising considering the States is such a big place.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay, please welcome our next climber, Nat Alde. So Nat is a regular climber at Power Up Alabang and Power Up Centro. So very experienced in rope climbing. Let's see how she fares in this route. So Nat recently sent the classic route Powder from Uling Wall in Montalban. Have you ever been outdoors here, Nilo?
Yeah, I've been to Cantabaco and Igbaras.
Cantabaco. Oh, wow. Okay. When was that?
That must have been like 5 years ago,
5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago.
Wow. So it
Yeah.
wasn't for a rock trip? Was it a personal trip?
No, it was a personal trip, and then I took a day to just go and explore.
Oh, I
Did a
see.
little bit of climbing,
I see.
but it was mostly just to kind of see what the climbing looked like and go and explore.
Which area did you go to in Cantabaco?
I honestly don't remember the name of the area.
Yeah, and actually they're also just called Area 1,
Yeah.
Area 2.
Oh, okay, got it. It was super fun though. I'm definitely not used to climbing on limestone.
Limestone.
I'm very used to climbing on granite.
Granite is the rock in the
You know, like,
States.
yeah, in like Yosemite Valley, it's
In
like
Yosemite.
that's the type of rock that you see there.
So you've climbed in Yosemite.
Yeah.
Oh, exciting. That is definitely a bucket list. Yeah, a
Totally.
bucket list for many climbers here.
Definitely worth it.
How
Definitely worth the trip.
how is the climbing different, limestone versus granite?
Granite is so textured. The limestone that I've climbed on here, at least,
Especially in Catabaco, right?
yeah, is really,
Shiny.
really slick.
It's
it
slick.
feels like the wall is entirely dual texture.
Yes,
And
exactly.
so you need to like utilize the hold from perfect positions, and you need to be really accurate with your footwork. Whereas when you have lots of texture, it's a little bit more forgiving in that the rock will. Ooh, that's scary. She's putting her foot behind the rope.
Yeah, so ideally in a lead climbing scenario, you keep your foot outside of the rope at all times to prevent any potential rope burns or snags. But luckily Nat is now approaching the second to the last clip on this route.
They look pretty comfortable right now too.
Yeah, she looks quite comfortable. She doesn't look pumped at all. She has endurance to spare. Okay. A little bit indecisive here about whether she should go left or right. Wanting to reach for the undercling on the right, but just a little bit short. Oh no! She looks like she ran out of gas. But that was a very, very good try by Nat Alde.
Good effort.
So I imagine granite is a little bit scarier to climb if it's a slab, huh?
I mean, I think slab and any rock is a little scary.
It's quite scary
But
in any scenario, right?
I think that the texture of granite is a little bit more forgiving. It like bites back on your skin a little bit. So sometimes you don't need to grip as hard because your skin just catches the granite. But to be honest, you know, I'm not an expert on limestone climbing, so I don't really know the nuances of it. Most of the time when I go climbing, I try to go out to Yosemite Valley or Lake Tahoe in California.
Hey, meanwhile, we are welcoming our next climber, Gian Eene Ambiak. So Gian is the 5th climber out right now. From Iloilo, according to our live chat. So we were just talking about granite holds, and I know that some of these holds over here are very textured, quite similarly to granite as well. I do find though that these very textured holds, while they offer a lot more grip, they can be a little bit painful on the skin, right?
They can be, especially if they're new. The fiberglass holds that we have on the wall are quite textured. So by the end of the climbing day or the setting week, you're usually usually have very thin skin.
Yeah.
Lots of people that I've seen at the end of competitions with bloody tips.
Oh yeah,
Just because
yeah.
they're climbing so much.
Yeah, and you always see people taping their fingertips, right, by the end of it because
Exactly.
you're not allowed to bleed on the wall as well, right, in these competitions?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for the people at home, you are not allowed to bleed on the wall in national competitions. If you're bleeding, you have to tape it or band-aid it. Stop the bleeding so you don't bleed on the wall.
What happens if you bleed on the wall?
Oh, that's a good question from Dre. What happens if you bleed on the wall, Nilo? Do you know?
If you start bleeding on the wall, the round will stop. They'll probably stop the clock and then clean the wall, clean the holes.
Sorry.
Bring up isopropyl alcohol and spray down the holes.
Oh, so they will have to spray down the holds before they resume.
Yeah, just for a health and safety
Oh, yeah, you know what? That is a good call.
aspect.
But will the climber be given another chance to finish the route? For example, if it were an on-site competition like this.
I think it's like kind of a gray area. I might be mistaken, but I think
see.
that there are certain competitors that
Oh, and a fall from Gian. Sorry, go ahead.
they keep it a secret that they're bleeding so that they
Ah.
can continue climbing. Because if it's obvious that there's blood on the holds, they will make you put a band-aid on or stop the
Right,
bleeding.
right. Yeah. Definitely the judges call at this point whether or not they ask the climber to do it again.
You got minus points or something.
Do you get minus points?
I don't
Or
think
no?
you get minus.
No
points.
minus points, okay.
Today I learned.
Today I learned. So please, no one bleed on the wall for health and hygiene purposes. Of course, this is not true at your local gym. At your local gym, you will find blood, skin, and hair draped all over the volumes. Okay, now welcoming to the floor our next competitor, Nina San Andreas from Quezon City. Nina is sporting a Magikarp chalk bag.
You don't need to be doing anything now.
During the transitions.
Okay, so Nina on the wall. Getting started on this Women's Challengers lead route. So all of the competitors in today's lead nationals comp are lead certified, I believe, in CCM. It is a requirement, yes. I'm curious, is it this strict in gyms in the US? Do they have to be lead certified in order to climb in the gym?
You don't need to be lead certified for most gyms in order to top rope, but in order to lead, you need, a belay certification and a lead certification.
A lead certification. Does it have to be from sort of a national body, or can it just be your local gym's lead certification?
Usually, it's just your local gym.
The local gym's lead certification. Okay. Shout out to Tito Lex's cool matching cap and harness.
Favorite color.
His favorite color says Praj. This was something that we talked about yesterday. We made our viewers guess what our local belayers' favorite color is, and today he is putting it on display.
For everyone who are doubtful if it's green.
Yes, for everyone who is doubtful that it's green. Okay, Nina approaching the 5th clip of this route. Okay, attempting to clip from below. Does Nina have the length? And yes, she does. Nina deciding, oh no, too many foot swaps led to an unfortunate slip from Nina. Great effort from Nina. Fun fact, Nilo here, our head setter, is actually younger than your resident yappers, both of us.
How young than you? How much you
Dre is trying to burn me, but she's doing it not on the mic. Why don't you say it to the world, Dre?
Okay, fine. How much younger do you think Nilo is than Nikki?
Specifically me, because the gap between Nilo and Dre, not that far. Okay, Dre wants to point out that it's months, but the gap between Nilo and my age is a little bit wider. Oh, but you know what, Nilo, you don't talk like a Gen Z.
I don't.
No, maybe you can say something that will, yeah, I feel like I speak more Gen Z than you.
I mean, we're technically right on the cusp, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Most of the people I grew up around are a little bit older than me.
Yes. Yeah. So Nilo is 26, by the way, for the people back home. So he is on the cusp between millennial and Gen Z. But Nilo, Dre speaks very Gen Z.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
You guys, you always tell me you forgot my age. Because I'm always hanging with you.
Maybe, Nilo, you can tell the audience that this route slays. Can you say that? This route is a slay.
It slays for sure.
Yes, it slays with, he said that with no conviction whatsoever. No cap, right? Do you know what that means? No cap?
There's another one, Bea, like these. Go.
Okay, so on the wall right now is Raza Alcazar. Raza Alcazar is on the 2nd clip of this route right now. Okay, Raza on the 3rd clip of this route. Okay, reaching the next route, stabilizing. Oh, beautiful back flag from Raza. So we can see there's a little bit of a challenge for climbers to clip the next hold when the clips are not that far apart from each other. So they have to make sure that they are pulling from above the last clip. Raza climbing slowly but steadily. Sometimes in lead climbing, slow and steady wins the race, especially when you have only endurance, like say an athlete like Aimori. Tito Nilo, Praj has a question for you. Can the climber step on the volume on the right past the third clip? And a fall for Raza.
Yes, they can't use any volumes. Yep. They're only allowed to use the yellow and red holds, but they can use any volumes they can reach.
There you go. Climbers can use any volume for this route. Oh, ito na. GP time na daw. It's a free world. Let's go. GP time na. Okay, great effort from Raza Alcazar. Welcoming our next climber to the floor is Bea Pineda. Bea Pineda has a makeshift bib. It's pretty normal for climbers to lose their bibs, especially when they are hung by two flimsy pins on your back.
That's very true.
So the makeshift bibs, we've seen them before.
From last week's Boulder final.
Yes, and last week's Boulder finals as well. So Nila, I'm also curious, as a route setter, do visuals matter? Like, is it important? Well, maybe not important, but do you consider that a route looks cool when you're designing a route?
I think that aesthetics are important in route setting. I don't think that it should be the end-all be-all.
Right.
The priority should be movement, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then if you can create a climb that is aesthetically pleasing and has really good movement, then you've done a good job. It's sometimes difficult depending on the resources that you have access to. So for example, for this climb and some of the other climbs you'll see, we've split up the colors into sections
Right.
so that it's not as chaotic.
I see.
But sometimes that's not possible,
I see.
just based off of the resources that we have available to us
Yeah.
and the time that we might have to make tweaks and adjustment.
I see. So this change in color, is it sort of like a visual cue for climbers to know that, for example, they're entering the second half of this boulder?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you can break it down into beginning, middle, and end, or if it's just two colors, beginning and end.
Yeah, that's great for climbers, especially when climbers are going through it. They are in the middle of the route, so it's difficult sometimes for them to tell where in the route they are exactly. So this is a nice visual cue and very nice climbing from Bea Pineda.
The ball is holding.
Hey, so Bea Pineda approaching the third to the last hold in this route now. Third to the last clip, sorry. There we go, slow and steady clipping, very relaxed. Okay. Bea has a steady head.
Nice.
There we go, and she's got her hand on the undercling.
Come on, go for it.
Now she has to go for the next hold.
Commit.
Okay. Bea just giving it some thought, deciding on how she wants to approach this next move. Okay. Thinking about a frog position. Okay, it's a little bit awkward for her. Okay. Good opportunity to rest. Okay. She looks quite balanced in this position, but how will she do the next move? Okay. Oh, hesitating. Trying it once again.
This move is really scary, but once you get to the next hold, the clip is easier to make.
I see. So this is an intentionally awkward position. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's actually not too bad of a move in comparison to the other moves. It's just scary.
It's just scary. Scary because of the height or?
Because you're throwing past
I see.
hand and you're doing a big move.
Yeah. So this is a test of commitment for Bea, according to our head root setter. Oh! Unfortunate fall. She couldn't commit to the move that she wanted to do. But really great effort from Bea. I think she was in that position for a good minute or so, right?
Yeah, she was on the wall for a very long time. I think that maybe if she had committed to the move earlier, when she had more energy, she would have been able to stick that move and make the clip.
Yes, definitely. A lot of the times it's all about commitment and just committing to the first intuitive move that you thought about.
Like yesterday, I just reached to the top. That was really commitment. Like, it's amazing.
Yes, that's right. Dre is reminding us about yesterday's elite finals route, the second route for women, that required a huge commitment move. Actually, for yesterday's routes, we noticed that for elite men's and women's, the last move required so much commitment. Was that intentional? Oh, before that, let's welcome our last climber to the floor, Janelle Paris, or Janelle Paris. How do you pronounce Janelle's last name? So as I was asking Nilo, I asked him about how the finals routes for elite yesterday, the second set, both had a very commitment-focused top, right? Both of the climbers really had to, it was very far. It required almost a very far dead point. Was that intentional?
Yeah, we wanted a move that required climbers to not second guess themselves, because if they second guess themselves, they would just tire out and commit to a big move. It's kind of a nice, showy way to end the climb.
Yeah, it definitely made for an exciting last segment while we were watching all of the climbers. It really is a good way of separating the climbers too, because you saw the ones who hesitated when they saw that the second to the last move was not a nice one. Janelle approaching the fifth clip. Choosing to clip from this position and reaching straight for the side pull. Up. And Janelle putting her foot behind the rope. Okay. Janelle cruising up until the third to the last route. Reaching for the undercling, no problem. And yes, a beautiful move. That was a beautiful move by Janelle. Janelle just struggling to clip the second to the last clip. Now on the way to the anchor. Just 2 moves away from the anchor. And she clipped. And yes, she can. So Janelle Paris being the only competitor to finish the route, which is a great relief to the route setters, right, Nilo? What is the grade?
I don't know. I am hesitant sometimes to give the grades of climbs because they don't speak to the actual difficulty of what it's like to do an on-site competition.
Yes. Okay, so now that concludes Women's Challengers edition. Now we are moving on to Women's Masters. They will be climbing the same route for their finals round. Okay, we are getting started with our Masters category with JX Arguelles. JX preparing to climb the finals route. JX going slow and steady. You mentioned difficulty earlier, Nilo, and I was just thinking about how it being lead and it being a competition definitely adds to the difficulty of a route. Right? Do you agree?
Yeah, I think so. It's sometimes scary committing to moves on lead in comparison to top rope. So the mental aspect of climbing really comes into play.
That's true. There are lots of factors that come into play. Meanwhile, JX has just clipped the very first quick draw. Taking her sweet time on this first section of the route. Raf Medina said, warm up para sa uling bukas. If any, for all the people who go outdoors, you might have heard about the J-Experience. So JX is the leader for J-Experience, the organizer for J-Experience. JX struggling on this second clip. Choosing to clip from this position. Hey, all eyes on JX. I think that is that might be getting into her mindset a little bit. There you go. The crowd is going crazy with every move she makes. JX is in the Masters category, which makes her over 35. How old do you think JX is? The question is, how much over 35?
Yeah.
So your family doesn't speak Tagalog at all?
My mom does, but my dad doesn't.
JX slowly creeping her way up this route. Is she going to call it quits? Who is she talking to? Is it the crowd? Tito Lex? Ala! Ala! Nagpatik! Nagpatik! Pero binaba pa din ng parang elevator. We were just saying yesterday that I've never seen anyone take. But there is no shame in taking. No shame in taking.
That would also be me.
Yes, because that could be any one of us. And when the time comes when you ask your belayer to take, don't look anyone in the eye.
Saya.
Okay, and for our next climber, Cholang Ignacio. So Cholang also competed in Boulder Nationals last week. And she got into the finals as well in the elite section. So now Cholang is competing in Masters. In the Masters division. Is this common in the States, by the way? Is it common for you to segment competitions by age? Besides the youth, of course, that's obvious.
Usually it's just open competitions. Like the national level competitions, it's just one age category.
One age category.
Everyone is in the same age category.
I see.
Youth competitions, you segment into different age groups,
I see.
but
So who is the oldest climber you've seen compete in an open competition in the States?
I don't know. I don't know who it would be. Probably someone in their like mid to late 40s.
40s.
There's some really strong climbers out there.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's a classic game of experience versus youth, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
I
So
think the style has changed quite a bit.
that's also
So-
true.
Maybe less so now in comparison to a couple of years ago.
Right.
But there's some really strong climbers that are 35 and up.
Got it. And it's usually maybe the dynamic, the more new school stuff that they struggle with, huh?
Sometimes. Yeah, and just the holds change year after year.
Yeah, that's true.
There's something to be said for just having exposure
Right,
to
exposure.
the new holds and the new volumes.
True, very important. That's true. The learning curve does get steeper each year, right? They're
Yeah,
always producing new kinds of holds.
exactly.
So Cholang making her way to the 5th clip.
Ganda ng flag.
Yes, beautiful inside flag by Cholang. So Cholang has been competing since last week and yesterday. So I imagine she might be a little bit fatigued for today's competition. Okay, let's go Cholang. Cholang doing a cross clip. That's right. Okay. Okay, it's okay. She can relax. She just needs to relax. Okay. Hesitating. The fear of clipping is very real. And this is where a good belayer comes in. And yes, Cholang is safe and sound. Good job to both Cholang and our belayers. So actually, Nilo, if a climber holds on to the rope or a quick draw, is that automatic disqualification?
I think that you would consider that essentially falling. So the hold just before you did that would be your last hold.
I see. Okay.
Let's go, Missy.
So, yeah, if you have time, might be a nice place to do a little day trip.
Totally. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time this trip. Maybe next time.
I see. So you are going to the States back after this?
Yeah, it's a pretty quick trip just because I can't take too much time off of work.
I see. Work calls. Okay,
But-
so, sorry?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I came straight from the airport to the gym, started stripping the walls,
Oh, wow.
and it's been pretty non-stop. I haven't really seen much of Manila, spent any time outside of the gym or my Airbnbs.
Looks like it was straight to work for Nilo.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Bea Bermundo approaching what seems to be the crux of this route. Bea on the way to do the beautiful cross. A beautiful cross move from Bea Bermundo. Okay, one last clip to go before the anchor. Oh no, one last clip to go, which is the anchor. Yes, and Bea's got the second to the last hold. There we go. Now can she clip? And she clips, yes, and a victory shake from Bea. Victory fist bump. That is our martial mothers.
oh yeah.
It's funny nga because
This,
5 out of 6 of the climbers are from the same gym. Arms. Yeah. Si Ate McDonald. Ay, it's 4 out of 6.
good job to Bea Bermundo giving our tournament director a flying kiss.
Okay, now Mama E.
So our next climber on the floor, Erika Ghana, former national team. So Erika Ghana used to be on the national team. Oh, okay, she is playing around. She is just having a good time here. She's here for a good time. Hey, Ikai getting on the wall.
Gloria Cebu.
Some things have changed for Ikai since she was last national team. She is now a mother.
And a wife.
So Ikai hasn't been climbing or training as much as she used to, but she is still displaying some of the veteran moves that she has accrued over the years. Ikai, also one of the smaller climbers. Over the years, she has really mastered how to use her height to her advantage. Is that also a consideration for you, Nila, the tallest and the shortest climber when you're route setting?
100%. I'm always trying to make sure that the route setting is equitable for different heights,
Right.
because it feels very unfair sometimes when something is way, way easier if you're taller or shorter.
Right.
So ideally, we try to make it as fair and as equitable as possible.
Got it. One of the challenges of being a route setter